I started recording the first part of this video last week, but then when I started editing them together, the video I recorded last week was way too long, so I'm going to make them two separate videos and have this week's video be like a part one and a part two. The first video I filmed it last week when I watched Chasing Life. It was also my cancerversary, so I explained all of that stuff and what it's like to find out you have cancer. And so this kind of ties in with that video too, and what I'm going to talk about in my cancer talk today. So click there, watch that video, and then come back and watch this video. So today I am going to talk about how to talk to cancer patients. A lot of people, when they find out their friend or somebody has cancer, they don't really know what to say to them, or they say just something wrong. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about the do's and don'ts of what to say to cancer patients. Let's start with the don'ts. One thing that really annoyed me was everyone all the time would ask me, "How are you feeling today?" It's a fine question to ask, but just know that that cancer patient is getting asked that about 30,000 times a day. Whenever somebody would ask me how I'm feeling, I would just relate it to some kind of superhero reference, and then eventually people stopped asking me. So whenever somebody would ask me how I'm feeling, I'd be like, "I've been hanging out in the sewers with the Ninja Turtles as they're sneaking around trying to stop the evil in the world by removing all the bad guys one at a time with their super turtle powers of severe butt kicking while slinking beneath the city so they don't get caught being giant talking turtles who fight crime while wishing they could go home." I would say something like that and people would just be like, "That's funny. I don't know how to respond to that." So one other thing, a lot of people say when they find out you have cancer, they're like, "Oh, somebody I know had cancer and they died." That's not helpful at all. Thank you. I'm really sorry about your loss, but that's not helpful. A lot of people would tell me that. I'm like, thanks. I don't know what to say to that. I'm sorry about your aunt. I don't know. That's awkward. Just don't do it. So it's funny when people will come up to me, they'll be like, "So I heard you have colon cancer. I Googled colon cancer, and you should do this." And I'm like, really? You Googled colon cancer, and you're telling me what I should do off of Google? I had a couple people that were like, "Oh, you have colon cancer? You should eat healthy, and then you won't have colon cancer." And I'm like, excuse me? Obviously, you don't know me that well, because, I eat incredibly healthy, and I'd have acting classes like every Saturday. During my acting class, I would just be sitting there eating a raw cucumber whole, or just like a pepper, not even cut up or anything. I just eat it like an apple. They would always ask me, they're like, "What veggies do you have today?" Or like, I'd eat a raw potato, and they're just like, "You're just eating a raw potato." I'm like, "Yeah, it's delicious. I just eat raw veggies." And most of the time, that's what I would eat, was just raw veggies and fruits. And so people are like, "Oh, you need to eat healthy, or you should try like juicing or eating more vegetables, because if you ate more vegetables, that would clean out your GI tract and then you won't have cancer." And I'm like, really? It doesn't work that way. I'm sorry, but thanks for your advice. And then on the contrary, other people were like, "Are you sure your doctors know what they're doing?" Yeah, I trust them more than I trust you. Do you have a PhD or an MD, or have you spent 30 years in the oncology field studying cancer? No, you haven't? Oh, well, thanks for your advice. I appreciate it. People ask me if cancer's contagious. No. Not contagious. Can't catch it if I sneeze on you, just to let you know. And then there's the people that they're like, "You don't look sick. Stop faking it." I'm sorry, not everyone looks sick. There would just be times where I'm about to pass out, so I'd be like curled up in a ball trying not to pass out, and people were like, "Get up, you're not sick." And I'm like, wait a second, just let me stand up, and when I pass out, you'll know that I'm sick. Which the other thing people say is like, when you lose your hair, they're like, "Oh, it's just hair, it'll grow back." Just to let you know, it's not helpful. People say that when it's not their hair. Like, I was really sad when I lost my hair, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I have long curly red hair, and I'm an actress, and that's how I make money, is with my unique look, and I need my hair. And people are like, "Oh, it's just hair, it'll grow back." I've been growing my hair out for a year, and it's like, not even to my ears yet. It's gonna take me like 4 years to grow it down to here again. So don't say that. It is just hair, but some people have attachments to their hair. I do. So it's not really helpful. Helpful things you can say to cancer patients. One thing that was really nice was I had like these 4 friends, and they were extremely supportive and everything. They would talk to me like I'm a real person, like I'm not a sick person. And you know, we didn't talk about my cancer because I talk about my cancer to everyone else. So we would talk about other things like movies or boyfriends or what's going on in life or just stuff like that. And it was so nice. Whenever I was just so sick of talking about cancer and I didn't want to deal with cancer and I just wanted to pretend I didn't have cancer, I would go talk to one of them and I'd just talk to me like a normal person. That's really what I want, is I just want you to sit there and talk to me about life instead of just sitting there and talking to me about cancer, because I do that all the time. Say something encouraging if you're going to say something. Like, tell them, like, stay strong. I know you can fight this. Give them something to hope for, which is something, that tiny thing to hope for goes a long way. Something that kept me so positive was going back to my acting career, was just thinking about that. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to beat this cancer and then I'm going to go back to my acting career. That's what I'm going to do. And that's what kept me so positive and going and fighting all the time. So you know what? I'm just like, I'm going to fight this, get this under my belt, and then I'm just going to go back and be like, it never happened, and I'll be acting again. So give them something to hope for. And if that seems too far away, give them something to hope for next month. My birthday party's next month. You're invited. We can all hang out and have a pool party. You know, that's cool. Let them hope for that party. Or if that's too far away, give them hope for next week. Like, hey, I'm going to come visit you next week. I can't wait to see you. That's something to look forward to. If that's not even close enough, give them something to hope for tomorrow. You know, tomorrow I don't have to do chemo. That's something exciting. And if that's too far away, give them something to hope for today. You know, I get pudding with my lunch. I love chocolate pudding. Maybe I'll get ice cream, something like that. You know, that's helpful. Ask them, can we help you with anything? Being really weak and not being able to do anything, sometimes just reaching over there for like a cup of ice is hard work. And like, you get so exhausted just like trying to pick up a cup of ice. That's always helpful to be like, can I help you with anything? Can I get anything for you? That's a nice thing to ask. Saying I'm here for you and actually being there for that person. You know, just sitting with them during chemo or just sitting them with them and not doing anything is also pretty great. Even if you're not talking, it just shows that someone cares and someone cares enough to sit there with you. Go to chemo with us or visit us in the hospital. There were a few times when I spent like a week in the hospital, and the first time I spent the week in the hospital, it was before people knew about my cancer. And the very few people who knew about my cancer came to visit me, which was really awesome. Go visit them in the hospital. You know, there's nothing scary about it. Make us laugh. Try and make us smile. Tell us a joke. Even if it's really cheesy, just try. Reminisce with us. Tell us funny stories about the past. You know, bring us back to good times before cancer. The last thing I wanted to say was give us a hug. That was like the one thing I wanted the most of my time. I'm just like, so I'd see all my friends and they wouldn't give me a hug. And I'm like, I'm not contagious. If I sneeze on you, you're not going to get cancer. And I'm not broken. Just give me a hug already. Or if they give you a hug, they give you like this really light one and they're just like, I'm just going to do this. I'm not actually going to squeeze you because, you know, that might hurt or something. Give us an actual hug. Oh my gosh. Just hug us. Like, that's all we want, is just give us a hug and say I'll be there. So that's it. I hope this helps. If you guys have any more things to say to cancer patients or things not to say to cancer patients, leave them below. Anyways, this is one of my cancer shirts. It says "In the Fight," and it's a Stand Up to Cancer shirt. Stand up to cancer. This week, I got accepted into this program in Hawaii. I'm going to be in Hawaii for 6 months learning how to sail ships. And then we are going to take the ships out and travel to small islands and give them help and aid and supplies and stuff. So I painted like ship-themed stuff on my nails. I have like an anchor on that one. And then just like a heart and stripes and like a steering wheel type thing. And then just polka dots. Like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube page. I put out new videos every Thursday, so I'll see you guys next week. Bye!